Hello everyone in the Secrets to Sleep Baby and Toddler Sleep Help group. My name is Courtney. I am a pediatric sleep consultant. I help families get a great night of sleep so they can enjoy the time they have with their little ones. I was doing a free sleep strategy call, like a group call, all about breastfeed to sleep today. If you have not had the group call, if you breastfeed to sleep and you want to know how to break the breastfeed to sleep habit, I do free group calls about that. So post below breastfeed to sleep group call and I will send you the link so you can join that one for free. So does there need to be crying? This was one person asked this today. Anytime someone asks it to me, I usually figure it's something that probably a lot of people want to know. So does there need to be crying involved for, a little one to learn to self-settle? Or does there need to be crying involved for the sleep training process to happen? Okay. So this is one of those answers where I'm like, yes, no. Does there need to be crying involved? So here's the thing. So there are super harsh methods of sleep training. Let's say there's one that's called cry it out. Okay, an extinction method where you lay a baby in bed and they cry until eventually after like 2 hours they fall asleep. Okay, I don't recommend this method whatsoever. I did an attachment parenting course and the attachment course that I took says that we don't think that this is healthy for babies, okay? No shame if you've done it. I did this with my son at one point in time because I was trying one method when I was not a sleep consultant. I didn't know how to go about it, and then I let him cry because I was like, what else can I do, So absolutely, like, no shame, none of that. It's just more that I don't actually recommend this as a sleep consultant, okay? So the reason the baby is crying is because they don't know how to self-settle. Okay, self-settling is a skill. It's a milestone. It's something that we learn at some point in time. Okay, it's not that little ones are bored. It's not that they feel sad or abandoned. It's that they legitimately do not know how to fall asleep. It's a skill that we have to learn. Okay, so if they don't know how to do this skill and they're really tired and they're laying in their bed, they're going to get really upset and they're going to cry for the thing that they want in order for them to fall asleep, right? So this is why when I do gentle sleep training methods, we go about it differently. When we lay a baby in bed for them to learn to self-settle on their own, it's like saying, hey, I know that your entire life I have helped you to sleep until 100%, right? I've rocked you until you are fully asleep. I've helped you 100% of the way. Laying them in their bed to cry is like saying, but now I'm just not going to help you anymore. Good day, right? Okay, no shame at all. I've done this. I didn't know anything about pediatric sleep when I was, not a sleep consultant yet, right? I just needed the baby to fall asleep, right? I also recognize that parents, like we have our own health too, like we have our mental health and that sort of thing, and it's definitely a recommendation if you feel like you're losing it to just lay the baby in bed and in a safe place and go take your time, right? So all of those things, okay? No shame, just information, okay? The way I approach sleep consulting, I do it a little bit differently. We use gradual methods. I say, hey, I know your entire life I've helped you until you're 100% asleep. Instead of doing that now, I'm going to put a boundary in place. I'm going to put a boundary in place at 90% asleep, okay? This is where I start. This is my recommendation, okay? So it means that, if you're breastfeeding, if you're rocking, whatever it is, you would do that until the baby is sleepy, okay? So I had a breastfeed to sleep call today. I'd say breastfeed until very, very sleepy, unlatch the breast. If the baby cries, you can always latch again. Right? There's no reason. So for all the sleep consultants that, I speak to a lot of families and they've said, the sleep consultant said, absolutely no matter what, can you go in and pick up your baby? Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, there's absolutely no reason why you cannot go in and pick up your baby. Okay, that does not interfere with them learning how to self-settle. You can always attend to your baby. There's no reason why you cannot. Okay. So this is why I recommend gradual, gentle methods. Put a boundary in place, okay? So I tell families, go back to breastfeeding again. As many times as your baby, toddler wants it, breastfeed. Breastfeed, okay? But not until asleep, okay? Because if we continue to breastfeed our little ones until asleep, then we continue this habit. We can't break the habit if we keep doing the habit, right? So I recommend breastfeed until very, very sleepy, unlatch again and again and again. Eventually, your little one will be able to do that little bit at the end themselves, and that is the start of breaking off a habit. Instead of a breastfeed to sleep, now you have a breastfeed until very, very sleepy habit, okay? That alone, breastfeed until very, very sleepy, is not enough for your little one to suddenly start sleeping through the night. This is not a quick process. This is not easy. This is 3 weeks of boot camp. That's how I describe it. 3 weeks of boot camp, 3 weeks of hard work. This is where I support families because I recognize that it's not easy to navigate. It's not easy work. It's not easy to stay on track. This is tough stuff. But if you manage to get through it and you manage to put the strategies in place correctly, your little ones, if they're, about 6 months of age and older, we're talking healthy babies without, other reasons why they would be waking in the night, okay? They can sleep through the night at 6 months of age, okay? So I always recommend feeding the baby, gradually breaking off the habits, and when we do so, it's not, because people say, well, then I'm still feeding my little one in the night. How are they going to stop feeding in the night? If they know how to self-settle, they will stop waking in the night unless they're legitimately hungry. This is the difference, okay? So this is where my recommendation is. You can feed your baby, you can attend to your baby, but what we need to work on is this habit of falling asleep on the breast, okay? Or while rocking or whatever it is. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. If it's helpful, please post below. If you have questions, please post below. If you want to join the 3 Weeks to Better Sleep program, if you're just like, I am so done breastfeeding my baby to sleep, if this sounds like really helpful information for you and you're like really feeling it, but you're just like not sure if you're ready to reach out, to me, I'm like, 3 weeks from now, your baby could be sleeping through the night, right? I'm not making this up. I've been tagging some people in the post of the interview I did with Valerie. She had a little one that was waking up 6 times in the night and now sleeping through the night, okay? So these are my recommendations. Come post below, say 3 weeks to better sleep. I'll set you up with a free sleep strategy call. We can talk. I can, identify the culprits that are interfering with your sleep. Okay, we can talk strategy. I can give you an idea of my recommendations so you know what it would look like. And then we can get to it. And you could be sleeping through the night 3 weeks from now. Okay, so this is where I'm at. Just so you know, I'm going to be raising my rates at the end of the month. So this is the last month with my rates where they're at now. So if you're interested, I definitely recommend posting below today. Okay, I still have some sleep strategy calls available on Thursday. So we can do that. We can get to it. And if you book before the end of the month, you can get the lower rates for the month of March. All right. I hope that's helpful for everyone. Feel free to send me a DM. Feel free to reach out. Thanks.